Let's talk more about it now with Mayor Michael Melham. He is the mayor of Belleville, New Jersey. So he's in one of the cities where they have been dealing with this quite a bit. So, Mayor, thank you for being here. Federal officials say they can't confirm where these drones are from, but then at the same time, they say they do not pose a national security threat. Do you and your constituents believe that assurance enough?
We do not. And frankly, we're getting tired of being insulted. I just got off a briefing with the White House Intergovernmental Affairs. And again, we're being told that we're seeing nothing here. We are not seeing any drones. We're seeing basically manned aircraft. I mean, they're starting to really insult myself, our constituents, and many, many mayors around the state of New Jersey who have literally had these things hovering 100 feet over their houses. I mean, we literally just got told once again that there's nothing to see here, and we're getting tired of it.
So you were part of a meeting last week with more than 200 mayors that was held by the New Jersey State Police Department. You say that you just got off a briefing with the White House. I guess the thing I keep coming back to on this story is it's one thing for you to tell us there's nothing to worry about. It's not a foreign threat. There's no sort of national security concern here. But then at the same time, you can't tell us specifically what it is that we're seeing. Is that the same frustration that you have, that if it's not a threat, why can't you tell us specifically what it is that we're seeing?
It is. And frankly, you're right. You can't have it both ways. You can't say we have no idea what you're saying, but there's no known threat. You just can't have it both ways. I mean, we were told by our state police that they know for a fact these things are hovering over our critical infrastructure. We had a mayor in North Jersey who has 80 square miles under her belt, and she's got 4 critical infrastructures, 4 sets of reservoirs there. She had 60 drones hovering over them this past Sunday. You can't keep telling us that we're imagining this stuff. We're not imagining it. Our own state police in our own briefings is telling us these things are not emitting a radio frequency. Our own governor has said, with the state police standing next to him, that our pilots witnessed the lights turn off and saw them disappear. I mean, we're having a lot of issues here, yet they keep telling us we're not going to shoot them down if we think they're a threat. We're not going to do a temporary ban. You can't have it every way. Our residents are getting concerned, and the lack of transparency is doing nothing but fuel conspiracy theories on social media.
Yeah, and maybe expand upon that thought about the conspiracy theories, because it does feel as though we've entered a new phase of this story where there is this sense that people are overreacting, that they're actually seeing regular commercial airliners landing and taking off, that they're police helicopters that they're witnessing. And I'm sure that's true. I'm sure more people are now taking the time to look up into the skies and are concerned as to what they're seeing. But do you feel as though that concern and these new levels of reporting that are probably just basic things are because of the void that was filled from before?
Absolutely. I mean, here in Belleville, we're in northern New Jersey. We border the largest city in New Jersey, Newark. We are dead smack in the middle of Newark International Airport and Teterboro Airport, and our residents in this area are starting to look up to the sky now. And every single night they look up to the sky, and there's no doubt. I mean, there's no doubt that there is some misidentification that's happening. We know that to be a fact. But I've had trained police officers, drone operators who are police officers, video things and say absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt, these are drones, these are not manned aircraft, and somebody needs to finally get to the bottom of this. I mean, it's ridiculous that we have technology that, you know, they can read your driver's license from a mile up in the sky, probably while it's still in your pocket, yet they can't tell us what's flying just above our homes.
So Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill, who I'm sure you know, she represents Bellevue. She's a former Navy helicopter pilot. She released a plan to identify drones and then improve communication with the public so they know what those drones are. I mean, what do you think about the Congresswoman's plan? And at least is the idea what needs to be accomplished here, filling this gap between what exists and getting that information to people so that they aren't worried about it all the time?
I mean, that's perfect. We welcome all the congressional help. I saw Josh, on the program just earlier. They're calling for federal assets to come in here. We were told by our state police that New Jersey has among the best drone detection equipment. We have MetLife Stadium that has drone detection equipment. It's going to do very little if these things are not emitting radio frequencies, which is the reason why we can't jam them and bring them to the ground, because it's kind of unique. That said, I do not think it's going to be a foreign adversary. I actually do believe that if you listen to the little bit of information that we've had, and more so what they're not telling us, especially about the fact about the blinking lights and everything else. I don't think this is a foreign adversary. I'm of the belief that these things are probably federal assets. I can't imagine that our U.S. senators and congresspeople aren't aware of it, but they very well may be U.S. assets that are being deployed to look for something. And that's what I'm concerned about. I'm no longer worried about who the drones belong to. I'm more concerned with what they're doing up there. Are they potentially sniffing for something? Because they keep flying in a grid-like pattern.
All right. Mayor Michael Melham, thank you for the reality check as to what your constituents are dealing with. We appreciate it as this story continues.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.